North Star signifies our core value, our guiding light.
Space Force, created to protect the ultimate high ground. A service for the next century. A new breed of joint warfighters. Delivering new capabilities faster. Expanding cooperation by enhancing partnership and collaboration. And creating a digital service to accelerate innovation.
Many of our operations rely on space for communications, position navigation and timing, ISR support to their operations.
Our biggest task is to ensure that when sailors, soldiers, airmen, and Marines need space, when they need GPS, missile warning, or communications, it's available, trusted, just like a light switch. And when you walk in a room and flip on the light switch, lights always come on. Same thing has to be true for space.
Space Force, always above.
Today, space is essential not only to our way of life, it's absolutely critical to the modern way of war. GPS, ATMs, cell phones, gas pumps, traffic lights, power grids, guided missiles, surveillance, RPAs, ground combat control. There's no such thing as a day without space operations. You just don't see them. Earth is only half the battle. Cyber attacks and jamming of our satellites. Microsatellites that can create a debris field. At 17,000 miles an hour, a piece of metal the size of a coin can be weaponized. Now is the time for a military branch with a clear and singular focus on space. A military branch that protects the hopes and dreams of America and our way of life as the space domain becomes more and more contested. It's time for another giant leap. The United States Space Force is being built from the brightest minds across the space operations of the Air Force, our joint services, and the private sector. We aren't just getting ready for the near future, we're getting ready for the 22nd century. When our enemies ask, what if? We will have an answer. When foreign powers can build bases on the dark side of the moon, when private companies are inventing a new economy beyond our planet, we need to stay one step ahead of the future. And the future is where we'll make history. We will fight in an environment with no up or down, no left or right, where there are no borders and nowhere to hide. Our Space Force is defending our country, here on Earth and wherever our mission takes us. As commerce and exploration expand, we will imagine the unimaginable, anticipate the inconceivable, and prepare for the impossible. We won't just think outside the box, we'll think outside the atmosphere, in one of the most challenging environments ever known.
Trainers for the schooling of military pilots are an immensely important factor in the development of air power. These are all on their way to
After the dawn of flight, the eyes of our nation turned skyward. The seed of air power had been planted,
Uncle Sam is building an air force to match any in the world.
growing to become more than just an auxiliary. The United States Air Force would prove to be the most dominant flying force on the planet. As a new century brought fresh challenges, our eyes tilted skyward once again, this time higher than before. Space had fueled the Air Force's meteoric rise to dominance. Looking to the future, space power would be the key to our nation's security and prosperity. space power has evolved as the critical component of national power, fueling the American way of life and modern way of war. In 2019, it was time to make history once again.
I, Samantha Diane Moody, having been appointed a first lieutenant in the United States Space Force,
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That you take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
congratulations. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Two, 1, 0, and liftoff.